always said that the true engine of job creation in this country is the private sector, not the government. Our job is to help our companies grow and hire.
This is exactly what we're talking about right here, jobs for vets. The issue here that we're facing as a company is that we need to find some funding. And this fellow here said it the way it should be. You know, he told us way back that when these guys go out and they do something for our country, we should be doing something for them when they're coming home. And the issue right now is that there's a lot of talk and there's a lot of things that are going around with discussions, but there's not a lot of action. We are an action program. We have an opportunity for you guys to help us in some fashion, and I don't know what that is yet. That's why we got you all together. We want to present the problem, we want to give you some of what we think the solutions are, and we want you to go back and see if you can figure out something better than what we've got. But the main issue here is getting these guys back to work. We do the integration, the deployment, and the engineering for anything to do with emergency and standby power. Now, if you look behind me, you can see the types of industries that we're involved in. And this goes across the country. This isn't just here in California. We work from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the border in Mexico to Canada. And in fact, we've been even talked to about going out of the country. We do not have enough folks to be able to do that. We're in the process right now of being forced to turn down business. And the problem there is that there aren't a lot of companies like us. There aren't a lot of people that do what we do. This is the breakdown. Those are the different industries that we service. We try our best to not get any industry more than 20% of our business. And the reason for that is that if there's a downturn in one of those industries, we don't want to be involved in just being a one-source type outfit. Now here's what the issue is right here. If we can get the funding to bring people on en masse rather than one at a time, because we have worked one at a time. In fact, the young lady in the back there in the center, we've worked with her over a period of what, the last year at least? And she represents the Riverside County workforce. We brought people on, we've hired them, we've kept them on. I think we've only lost one in the process, but it's one at a time. And that's not enough. I mean, it's enough for us if we don't want to grow, it's enough for us if we don't want to hire people, but that's not the object. The object is to get people back to work. If we bring on a group, this is what the group looks like. Every single field agent that we bring on requires us to hire other people to support that person. And so we have a system where we intend to hire 8 groups of 11 veterans at a clip and bring them in here over a period of 6 months. Now what we want is we need a grant for 2.5 years, because this isn't a program that's a 6-month deal. This is an ongoing program. We don't care if these people come on board and then they wind up going somewhere else. We've trained them, maybe they want to go into business for themselves, that's fine. So the more people we bring on, and the more people that spread out, the better it is for the economy, the better it is for us as a company, the better it is for the country. This is what it looks like when we bring on a field agent. Those are the folks that we need to do the work. Now we have in here this young lady over here who does the customer support work, and she also works with applications engineers. Over there in the corner is the main person who runs all of the service. He really does more, but right now we got him running the service. Josh Duggar right here in the corner.
The type of field work we do, the teams have to be pretty autonomous, and they have to be able to think for themselves. They have to be self-motivated. It's a very hard quality to find in just the general workforce, unfortunately. But something about the military, almost any branch, any occupation in the military, enlisted officer, it almost doesn't matter.
There is so much work that is throwing our way. We just can't support it all. We need folks to do it, and they can't get it done if they don't get somebody like us to do it. This is what it takes us, and this is what we're looking for, to bring on one group. That's one group. This is what they wind up with after that 6-month period in annual salary. These are minimum numbers. Now, these are not $8 an hour jobs. So these are annualized salaries where we can bring people in and they can earn a living. They can support a family, which is the idea behind this. Now, having them making minimum wage, that doesn't do anything. They have no career. So we've got to get these folks, not only working and earning a living, but being proud of what they do. Now, we figure this way. If we create the jobs that we're thinking about creating over this 2-year period, we're going to create 4,000 to 10,000 external jobs that are going to support us in making this effort happen. Because we have product that we have to purchase, which is, by the way, majority of which is USA. So we bring in racks, we bring in materials from around the country. The more business we do, the more those other people have to hire people to support us. It's a ripple effect. We bring on, and this is what we're aiming at bringing on, 440 new employees. And by doing that, this is what happens. These are the folks that support us after we bring on the people that work for us to do the work. And again, I'm going to give you all copies of this. Now, here's why you guys are here. We need to find out where that funding is. It's either going to be state, or it's going to be federal, or it's going to be a combination of both. Anyway, the issue really here is that we need the support. We've got Senator Boxer's office here. We have the new congressman from Palm Springs office here. So that means we're represented in the congressional side, and we're represented on the Senate side. Now, we want to know what you guys are going to do to help. That's what the key to this meeting is about. And then what we want to do is we want to issue press releases about what's going on, because we need to get public support. And what we're doing and what you guys are going to do to help this thing are going to help not only us, but it's going to help you. We're going to make the investment in training those people. You don't have to hire somebody in here that's going to train them. We're going to do that. So our investment is similar, if not more than what you're going to put in here to bring these people on board. But we can't do it without you. You know, we can do what we can with the Riverside County workforce one at a time, but that's not going to help these vets coming home. You got thousands and thousands of these people that are going to be released from the service. What's going to happen with them? You can't stick them all in school. They're not going to earn a living in school. And you're going to pay for the training in school that goes nowhere. This is on-the-job training. These are real jobs. So I want to sit down with you guys, and if you have questions of any of us in here, me included, you can fire away and ask it.
Well, yeah, at least locally, we're starting in Orange County with a program called Ready Vet Hire, where basically we're taking our small business clients that we already work with, providing access to capital and counseling opportunities to find matches for veteran employment. And so really it's just an exercise in information gathering for us, and then sharing that information with our local partners at the Orange County Workforce Investment Board.
You know, once you apply for a grant, it's to maintain that constant communication and making sure that on the other end, we can do the follow-up and make sure that if you are going to receive the grant, or if you're not, you know, what you ended up doing right or wrong with the application. You know, we can provide additional assistance in that. However, we can't apply for the grant for you.
They're mostly focused on homeless veterans. U.S. Vets has a homeless veterans grant from us. But our sister agency, the Employment and Training Administration, administers America's Job Centers, formerly known as One-Stop Career Centers, and there are training dollars available, you know, depending on the local availability of those funds. And I guess you've been getting OJTs from the local job center.
Talked about the homeless veterans program. We want to keep them from getting to the homeless part. You know, we want to catch that ahead of time, get ahead of the curve.
One of the things I'm focused on is the disabled vets, because this particular job, we're stealing people from outside service people to come in here and do the assembly. We need people in here to do the assembly. So again, maybe a disabled vet who has a business who we can subcontract with to do that. I don't know. I just know that, you know, there's lots and lots and lots of ways for us to get people back to work here.
It can't take even a momentary hit waiting for the generator to come on. So you need a battery backup that's going to instantaneously pick up the load while they wait for the generators to turn on and take over the load after that.
One of the great advantages that we have here in this business is a highly specialized field. Everybody that's anybody has to have our services. We're recession proof, no matter what the economy is doing, from the manufacturing to the telecommunications to logistics to emergency service, especially to the military. It's nonstop.
They've been wonderful to work with, and Riverside County will continue to support them with their on-the-job training whenever funding is available.
You know, we just need to kick off. We don't need you guys to. We're not looking to go to the well there and take money from public resources. We need to get it started.
And that,
we'll take over at that point.
That kickoff money then, is that primarily then being utilized for training?
Absolutely. Yep. It'll be on the job training. It's not. We're not going to sit them. They do start. There is some class work, especially for the service side of it. Josh runs that very effectively. But when it comes to hands-on, they got to go out there and do the work. And so they'll work with our folks out there. And we're very critical about that service work, very critical, because we're dealing with DC current, and that's why we're after the military. They know how to follow orders. You can go back and say to them, listen, Senator Boxer, this is what they said to me. What are you going to do about it? Nothing? Something? Anything? Why?
Well, we just don't do it that way. I mean, we don't just go back and say, get a statement from her about saying, what are you going to do for the veterans, you know? Because when you, well, your mic is on. I need to turn your mic off.
She's going to have some sort of an opinion.
Well, I'm going to report back to the person in D.C. who handles veterans issues.
Yeah.
And it's up to them to determine what they're going to do with that.
So we can't get her to give us any statement whatsoever?
I don't think so, no.
No?
Because if you sign up to fight for our country, the last thing you should have to do is fight for a job when you come home.
Hello everyone, my name is Brad Smith. I am unemployed right now. I was a corpsman for 8 years in the U.S. Navy. I've been looking for a job for the past several months and have been unable to find work. I've been looking everywhere that I can possibly look at, putting in applications wherever I can possibly put them in at. Like I said, I'd need as much help as I can to get a job right now, and I'd really need a lot of help.
I'm Dale Carruthers, the Director of Special Operations at FSI Energy Services at our National Operations Center here in California. I'm sure you support the men and women of our armed services like I do. Well, I have a challenge for you at home. We have thousands of American veterans returning from deployment, and they're going to need jobs to support themselves and their families. Not minimum wage jobs, but skilled jobs from which they can build their futures. FSI Energy Services has those jobs, and we can train those returning veterans. But we need the ability to hire more than one at a time, because one at a time is not going to make the difference. We need funding to jumpstart the training program at FSI Energy Services. Like most small businesses, we can't afford to take that out of our general operating fund. We're not asking for a handout from the American taxpayer, just help to kick off the hiring program and the training program at FSI Energy Services. This is where you come in. I need for you to get off the couch, get out of your recliner, call, email, or fax your senator, your congressman, your local representative, and ask them what they're going to do to help this program here at FSI Energy Services. We need their support. We need the funding. We need to know how it's going to work and where the help's going to come from. Without your support, nothing's going to change. We need for your voice to be heard, and I'm sure you can help. Our veterans risk their lives every day to provide us with the freedoms we enjoy here in this country. President Obama made a promise before Congress that he would put a program in place to hire those veterans, to create jobs for those veterans. Let's hold him accountable. Make that call. Help us help them. On behalf of America's veterans and the people here at FSI Energy Services, I want to thank you for your support. God bless you for your efforts, and God bless this country.